Hello, hello, Melissa May Dillon, your insurance exam queen. I am live here on YouTube, and I'm going to share this inside of our Facebook group. If you are not inside of our Facebook group, you should definitely join. There's a big loud sound out there. We do a lot of amazing things inside the Facebook group, and it's a really great way to get support and help and feedback. But I'm going to share this real quick, and I'm just doing some open teaching. So if there's any questions you have, anything you need to know about, I don't want to, I'll tell you, I don't want to answer questions like what's most important on my exam, because that's on my website. But if you ask me a question like, how do I understand this? Or explain dwelling policies to me or something like that, that would be fun. Open teaching live. Live on YouTube now. Join me. Link in comments. Okay, all right. I'm sharing this on a YouTube. There we go. Okay. Okay. All right. Got everyone tagged on Facebook. Okay. All right. Hello. Hello. Finally get to be on your lives. Yes, I'm here, Judy. Hello. It looks dark though. Is it dark to you guys, or is that just like the way my screen is looking? Or is okay, that looks a little bit better. Oh, it's like as I move, it's adjusting. That's what's happening. Okay. Okay. We'll be good. It'll auto adjust, I think. All right, finally get to be on your lives. I'm taking Ohio life and accident test this week. Okay, Shell, make sure with Ohio, they love to talk about HICs, which are basically Ohio's version of an HMO. And it has a lot of the same rules. But a couple of things unique about an HIC is like something about they have to annually do it. Definitely make sure you check in HICs for the Ohio life and health exam. One Princess Marasa, first time here on live. Hello. Here from North Carolina. Glad to catch you live. Awesome. How's the baby? She's amazing. Taking PNC. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So the lighting will adjust itself. I'm pretty sure. I think it's because there's a light behind me and then the lights above me. David, come fix my lights. I think they're okay. I think they could be turned a little bit. Let me yell at David real quick. David? Okay, never mind. All right. He's busy shaving the dog, so we will deal with it later. All right. It is open teaching, okay? So you tell me I need to understand this, and then I will teach it to you. So let me know what it is that you need help with, and I would love to break it down for you. Draw some pictures, some charts, some graphs. I'm just really in a mood to annuities. All right, we can do annuities. Oh, I need to make sure I get my microphone that I can clip to my chest, because if I turn around, then you guys can't hear me. This is my microphone. I wonder, can put it up here, but that's not going to work. Okay, so annuities. All right, is there anything specific about annuities? I can do general annuities. That's no problem, but I want to make sure I address any specific thing that you need related to annuities. Let me okay. Still don't grasp annuities. I did your package. Feel so much better. First time being here. Okay. Ooh, camera, adjust yourself. That's going to be funky if the camera. No, no, there we go, camera. Okay, keep with me. Stay with me, camera. All right, it's like auto adjusting itself when I move. How do they actually benefit people? Okay, this is a great question. All right, so we're going to talk about annuities and how they actually benefit people, because annuities are basically savings accounts that grow money, and then it prevents you from taking it out too soon. And so what I mean by that is, like, an annuity is like a locked in savings account. They're only going to give you so much each month so that you don't just take it all out and spend it, that it's always available to you. Okay? So a traditional annuity is something that you save for retirement. There's many different types of annuities, but the most common one is that you are saving for retirement, or you're working towards retirement. Okay? And I'm wondering, I did not plan this microphone scenario very well. I need some technology help. Also, I need a personal assistant who's here with me physically. So if anybody is like wanting to move to small town Illinois and can handle David and I, watch some videos if you need to know about David. He is a character all on his own. But I need a personal assistant. I need somebody who can like take care of stuff for me that I can't seem to take care of myself. Keep me on track, keep me organized. I could really, really benefit from that. So if you know a person, like somebody who's really good at organizing, like a CEO, like think of all those movies, like that Prada movie or whatever, and there's an assistant, or like even what is the one with Ryan Reynolds and that one lady where he's her assistant? I need an assistant. I need someone who is running around me all the time, taking care of me, holding my cup of coffee, writing down everything I say. I need one of those. Okay. All right. So let's talk about an annuity here. And maybe let me just pull my board closer. Maybe that'll help. I'm following the mic as if I have to follow it. All right. Okay, cool. And you guys can even see that a little bit better. Okay. All right. That'll help with the microphone situation. Okay. When we think of annuities, it's easiest to think about it as this shape, a triangle. And what's happening here is that this is a period of time. And so let's say you start, okay, let's say we're thinking about an annuity for retirement. Okay. So I want to be able to retire, and I want to be able to always have an income when I retire. Because when you're working, you're making an income, you're earning money, and you always have a paycheck. But then you retire and you no longer have a paycheck. And an annuity is making sure that you continue basically to receive a paycheck. So generally, you're going to start your annuity sometime around in your 20s, your 30s, whatever. So let's say you start it when you're 30 years old. Okay. And then this point, which we'll talk about, is when you turn 60. Let's say this is the time when you retire. Let me fatten this. Let me skinny this up a little bit. It's been a minute since I've used my whiteboard. And then this generally on the graph is going to mark your death. But you may not actually die at that time, but we'll talk about that. This is when they expect death. This is when they expect you to die. Okay. All right. So an annuity is where I want to save money for retirement, because if I have a paycheck and it's always coming to me while I'm working, but then I retire, I want to still have a paycheck. And that's what you do with an annuity, is a way of making sure that you continue to get a paycheck. So what you do with an annuity is you get it started when you're 30 years old, and then you begin making payments into it. So this would be considered right here. This is going to be my premium payment. Annuities have premiums just like life insurance. So this is my premium payment. Now, what's really cool is this premium payment is also going to earn interest. And so every time I make a premium payment, I'm putting money in and it grows interest. And then I put a premium payment in and it grows interest. And I just continue to do this for years. And from age 30 to age 60, I am putting money in, putting money in, putting money in, putting money in, putting money in. Every month I'm making a premium payment into my annuity, and it's growing and growing. And this is what this represents: growing. The money grows over time. Right? So this bottom here represents time. This is representing that the money continues to grow. So I'm putting money in, putting money in, putting money in, earning interest, putting money in, earning interest, putting money in, earning interest, putting money in, earning interest. So I'm like stacking up my money. This is where the savings account feature kind of comes into play, because I'm just stacking money on top of money, on top of money, on top of money, on top of money, and it's earning interest. And so it just keeps growing and growing and growing and growing. Okay. This right here, this whole side of the annuity is considered the pay-in period. The pay-in period. This is when I'm putting money in, putting money in, putting money in. Now, your premium payment during the pay-in period, it can be flexible. Because you're saving your own money, they have an amount of money they suggest that you pay in towards your annuity based on the goals that you have. But ultimately, like sometimes you can put in 100 a month, sometimes you can put in 1,000 a month. Like you can be flexible, but they give you like a target. Like if you want to be able to receive from retirement until death, if you want a paycheck of 5,000 a month, your annuity needs to be filled this much. It must have $1 million in it. And in order to make that happen, you must pay, $800 a month to make that happen. Okay. So they'll give you, and I'm just throwing out so random numbers right now. But the point is that the amount of money that you pay into the premium is what they estimate you're going to need in order to receive the type of payment that you want once you retire. Because you get to say, when I retire, I want to receive a paycheck of XYZ, $2,000, $3,000, whatever it might be. Okay. And so in order to make that happen, they say you need to accumulate this much. So this is known as the pay-in period. It's also known as the accumulation period. That's the fancy word for saying it. So it's the pay-in period or the accumulation. It's the accumulation period. That's another way of saying it. So it's the pay-in period, accumulation period. I'm racking up money, it's earning interest. I'm racking up money, it's earning interest. I'm racking up money, it's earning interest. I'm racking up money, I'm earning interest. That's what's happening during this side of the graph. And so like, there's not all this money in here at the beginning. You're slowly putting it in, pay a premium, put it in, pay a premium, put it in, pay a premium, put it in. Okay. So you're constantly racking up the money that you need so that when you retire, you can receive an income check. Now, then what happens is you hit this point here where you become 60 years old. Now, this graph is this is what we use to teach annuities. And so I use this graph because it's what you see when you look inside your state approved course. So I try to keep it in alignment with that. But I want you to understand all of this money like moves into this side of the graph. It's not extra money. It's like the money is in this side of the graph and then it just pours into this side. Okay. So it's almost as like if this was folded, you would just close it. Something about what I'm touching is moving the board. But anyway, this point right here, when you hit this point, when you hit the point where you go from pay in, this side of the graph is known as pay out. Oh, let me pick a different color. This side of the graph is known as the payout period. So we're switching basically from putting money in, putting money in, putting money in to now I'm going to take money out, take money out, take money out. And it's going to be a set payment every month. It's going to be a set amount of money every month. And you can't say, well, I need a little bit more this month. They go, no, you only get your set payment a month. This is how an annuity benefits people because it prevents you from taking out all your money because you're only allowed to get a set amount of money each month. You can't just access all of it. You can't just take all of it. It's going to be a set amount. Okay. So once you hit the point where it goes pay in to pay out, that right there, that what happens when you go from pay in to pay out, that is called annuitization. Annuitization. And once it annuitizes, you cannot go back. You are locked in to monthly payments forever. It will never pay you out a big lump sum. It is done. It is now, as soon as you annuitize, you are locked in to that monthly income, and you can't ever change how it pays out. It is sealed in gold. That's it. Cemented. It will never change. On this, when you're still in the pay-in period, you can change your mind about having the annuity. You can say, you know what, I don't want this annuity. Give me back all my money. And they will give you back your money. Now, if you try to do that somewhere early on, there may be a surrender charge. Annuities cost a lot of money up front for an insurance company. So when an insurance company is selling you an annuity, it costs them a lot of money. They have to pay the agent. They have to set up the annuity, and that costs money. So if you try to cancel the annuity too soon, they charge you a surrender charge. And every year, the surrender charge gets a little bit less till some point, then there is no more surrender charge. So maybe 5 or 7 years in, there's no more surrender charge. But still, when you're on this side of the graph, you have choices. You can say, never mind, you can cancel it whether you have a surrender charge or not. Once you annuitize, once you go from pay in to pay out, you are locked in, done, no more money available. There's money, but there's no more choices available. From this point forward, once you annuitize, once you put all this money into this side of the graph, once you go from pay in to pay out, you are stuck in the monthly payments. You can't take it out. You cannot have access to it. You can't change your mind. You can't cancel the annuity. It's over. Okay. You get the monthly payments, but there's no more way of changing it, making it different. It's stuck. It's solidified. It's in stone. Okay. So that's the annuitization. Prior to annuitization, you can change your mind. You can sell your annuity. You can take them. You can sell your annuity anytime, but you can take the money out. You can change your mind. Once you annuitize, once you switch it from pay in to pay out, you're done. Okay. You cannot go back. You cannot change your mind. Okay. Now, so annuitization basically says, I'm going to take all of this money and I'm going to dump it into this side of the graph. Okay. So then this side of the graph is already filled up with money, right? Like you're not having to put money in. It's already filled up. Now you will continue to earn interest. As long as there's money there, it can grow interest. So it'll still continue to make money as it's growing. Because once you annuitize now, like this was like, I'm building up to $1 million, building up to $1 million, building up to $1 million, building up to $1 million. This is like, now I'm starting with $1 million. And so it can continue to grow interest. But what is happening now is that you are in the payout period. So now money, instead of me putting money in, now money is going to start coming to me. Now I'm going to start receiving an income check from my annuity. So now every month, instead of working my job, I just get a check from my annuity for a certain amount of money, whatever it's set up as. And it will always depend on how much money you have available. If you said at the beginning, when you set up your annuity, that I want to have like a check of $3,000 every month when I retire, but you didn't save enough, then they'll be like, sorry, if you're going to annuitize right now, your check is only going to be $1,500. So if you didn't save up enough money in the accumulation period, it doesn't like, they're just going to go based off the amount of money that you have in there. So if you were a little bit too flexible with your premium and didn't pay enough, they're just going to go off of what you've got in there. So they go off of however much you got in there. So annuitization is when you go from pay in to pay out. So an annuitization is going from paying in to paying out. Okay. And where I was racking up money here, it was growing interest. Now I've converted it over. It's been annuitized, and now it's beginning to pay me money on a monthly basis. And it will continue to do that until I die. Now, when I said earlier that this is when they expect death, they will, when they set up your annuity, when you annuitize, they are going to estimate when they think that you're going to die. Okay, so they say based on your age, based on your health, we think that you will live until you're like, 90 something. So let's say they actually, so let me erase this to be very clear here. So like over here, they'll be like, we expect you to die when you're 90 years old. okay, based on your health and all the things. When they set the 60 to 90, they know that like they only have a certain amount of money to work with. And yes, it'll earn interest, but it's not like it's going to make crazy amounts of interest. It's going to earn like regular interest, maybe 2-3% or something like that. But they know that if they're paying it out, eventually this money will run out. Eventually this money is going to reduce itself over time, right? Because every time they're paying money, every time they pay some money, a little bit leaves. And then they pay you again, a little bit leaves. They pay you again, a little bit leaves. They pay you again, a little bit leaves, right? Eventually over time, they've paid out so much that you have no more money left. And they anticipate having no money, $0 left when you hit age 90. That's their plan, is like, okay, we've got $1 million in here. We expect that they're going to live the next 30 years. Let's chop up the $1 million by a monthly payment so that it'll completely deplete itself by age 90. Okay, so they're expecting that all of the money will be gone by age 90. Now, here's the beautiful thing about an annuity is that if you were to continue to be alive, so you didn't die at 90, let's say you go all the way to 110, the annuity still must send you a check if you're still alive. They anticipate that you're going to die at this point, but if you continue to live, they still have to pay you even if all the money that you had paid in is gone. They're still going to send you a check because the whole point of annuities is you can't outlive it, that it'll pay you forever. That's the benefit to an annuity, is that you cannot outlive your money. There's this guaranteed protection that even if we drain all the money that you put in, if you remain alive after the date we anticipate you living till, and all your money has been drained at this point, we will still send you a monthly check. So that's one of the biggest benefits of an annuity, is that you will continue to get a check until you officially die. You cannot outlive an annuity. They will always send you money. So even if every single dollar has been drained out, they've paid me until age 90 and I'm still kicking, I'm still alive, they will have to continue sending me a monthly paycheck. And I see Judy asked, is this on the Texas? This is on every life exam. If you're taking the life exam or life and health exam, annuities are on it. Okay. Okay. Now, yeah, my math is probably wrong. Like, don't listen to my actual numbers. My numbers will always be messed up. But anyway, so the annuity is going to pay you until you officially die. Now, here's why some people do not like an annuity, because what if, let me get a new color. What if I die right here? If I die at this point, so let's say all the money up until this point is paid out, and I still have all this money left. So let's say there's still money in here and I die at this point. There's still all this money in here. Who gets all of this money? A bunch of you may say, a beneficiary. No. There are no beneficiaries after annuitization. Once I annuitize and they start sending me a check, when I die, and if I die while there is still money left, the insurance company gets to keep it. They will keep all the money left in the annuity. So on the one side, you get the guarantee that if you outlive your money, they will continue to pay you. But if you die before you get all of your money, they get to keep it. That's the flip side, right? So that's a pro and a con to an annuity. If you know that you're going to be healthy and live for a long time, but nobody knows, right? You can die in a freak accident. Something can happen. I'm watching Ginny and George on Netflix. So you may have a wife who kills you. You know, you could be very healthy, but have a wife who kills you. Jenny and George is amazing, by the way. Reminds me so much of me and my adopted daughter. But anyway, I have never killed anyone, just FYI. Nothing other than bugs and deers. So 200, your payout period, okay, if you die early on, even if you die, like you could annuitize on like January 1st and die January 2nd, the insurance gets to keep all of it. All of it. And that's the risk you take with an annuity. On one hand, if I live for a very, very long time, they're going to continue to pay me. I cannot possibly outlive my money. On the other hand, if you die kind of soon, they get to keep all of it. Okay. And that's the pros and cons to an annuity. So one, I can have a savings. I can save my own money, pay myself a retirement, and I will never outlive it. I will always get a check. Always, always, always get a check. And on the flip side of that, if I end up dying, all the money I saved up goes to the insurance company. I don't get to keep it. And that's how the insurance is able to pay some people will die early on and the insurance gets to keep all that money. Some people will live a really long time. Guess how the insurance gets the money to pay those people? Because enough people died that they got to keep all that money. Okay. This is known as a regular straight annuity. Not every annuity is like this, but this is how a regular annuity is set up. To combat the fact that you could die and lose a lot of money to the insurance company, there are two types of annuities that have been established to protect a certain amount of the money. And those are known as period certain annuities or amount certain annuities. Okay, so I could have, I want more color. There are two ways to avoid this. Hey, I want to move you. What happened? Oh, I locked it. Okay. So in the event of this happening, where you could die and give away all your money to the insurance company, there are two things you could do to prevent that. So everything I just taught you is known as a straight annuity, a regular annuity. There are two different kinds of annuities too that will help you to some level not lose all of your money just in case you die early on. Those two, and again, you never know. Everything's a gamble, right? You could live until you're 110. You could die the day you flip your annuity over. Life is life. We don't know. You could have the social media platform that you use to build your business, and then the government takes it away. You never know, right? Like anything could happen at any moment, okay? So that's the risk that you take. But there are two annuities that you can open up, set up instead of a straight annuity or an ordinary annuity, you can set it up two different ways. There's an annuity called either period certain or amount certain. And they really function the same way, essentially. It's either saying, I want the annuity to pay out for a certain period of time. So like at a minimum, I want 10 years. Okay, so and of a monthly check, right? The check amount stays the same. Okay, the monthly payment stays the same. It never changes. Once you annuitize, the monthly payment stays the same. Period certain would say, when I turn 60, if I have period certain, the monthly payments must pay out for at least 10 years, even if I die. So if I die 5 years, let's say I started at 60, I die at 65, it will still have to pay out for another 5 years because it's going to be 10 total. So this is basically saying the annuity must, at a minimum, pay out for 10 years, even if the original annuitant dies. Okay, then at that point, you have a beneficiary. Like someone in the family can get that money. Someone will be receiving that monthly check. Okay, amount certain basically says that a certain dollar amount has to pay out. So it'll be like at least 500,000 has to pay out. 100,000 has to pay out. Okay, so this one says it doesn't matter how long it takes, whether it's 5 years, 10 years, depends on the monthly amount of the check. Once 500,000 has paid out, then the insurance can keep the rest if the person died. Now, if the person lives forever, or not forever, but if the person lives beyond the annuity, these things don't really matter anymore, right? These two types of annuities are just a form of protection if I were to die early, if I were to die earlier than I anticipate. Okay. So it's a way of like just trying to keep some of the money in the family or to someone if I happen to die much earlier than I anticipate. So period certain says we pick a certain amount of time. They must send a monthly check for this amount of time. Amount certain says they must pay out this amount of money. And at that point, under these two options, you can have a beneficiary. But under a regular annuity, there's no beneficiary. When it's done, it's done. Okay. All right. Now, these are the main overview of an annuity. If you can understand everything that I just shared with you and you go to take the test, you're going to be able to answer the majority of the questions correctly and be okay. Yes, there is more to learn about annuities, but ultimately, if you know everything I just shared with you, you're going to get the 70% you need. Okay. So let me scroll through the exam to see if you guys had any questions about this. Oh, one other point I would want to make because I see the word tax. When this money pays out, so let's say I get my monthly check. One thing to understand is that when I get my monthly check, so let's say my monthly check is $1,000. Let's split that up and we'll say 700 of that is based on the principal amount, which means it's based on the premium you paid. Like you put in $700, you get of your monthly check, 700 will be exactly what you put in. And then let's say 300 of this, 300 will be interest that you earned. Okay. So a portion of your monthly check that you receive, some will be the money that you directly put in from your premium, and some of it will be interest that you earned. Okay. This is the one tax thing you need to know is when they send you a monthly check, this part will be taxed. They will not tax the principal balance because that was money you put in. You already paid taxes on your money. Like when you get a check, you get a check from your job, taxes have already been taken out, right? So if I get an income check and I put money from my income check into my annuity, then when I take a check out, 700 of that dollars has already been taxed. The interest portion, the money that was growing while I put money in, that portion will be taxed. Frank, what state are you in? Oh, New Hampshire. Are you sure? I don't think so. I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure that is not correct. If anything, New Hampshire is let me pull it up. I've got all the state exam outlines. But I'll double check. But that is very rare. Annuities is usually somewhere around like 10%. Yeah, I'm looking up New Hampshire right now. Somewhere on my screen. There it is. It's pulling up. But this is even still, if it's that big of a test on your exam, annuities still, like this is the main chunk of the information that you need to know. They just re-ask you these questions in 1,000 different ways. All right. Are you taking the life exam or are you, oh, they split it up. Are you taking life or life and health, Frank? Just to confirm. Life or life and health? Let me know, Frank. Life only. Okay. All right. Let me look. That's a pretty, oh, I lost you guys. Hang on. You guys are over here. Too many tabs open. There we go. Okay. I think I can share my screen. Let me share my screen. We'll find this out together. Here we go. Share. Okay, perfect. All right. So this is the New Hampshire state exam and life only. So insurance licensing, 12%, general insurance, 8%, life insurance basics, 17%, life insurance policies 10%, riders 27, annuities 18. So I don't know where you're getting that 27%, Frank. I mean, 18 is still pretty decent, but it's not 27%. That's a huge amount. I've never heard of annuities being 30% of the exam. So yeah, it's only 18%. So double, I don't know where you got your numbers, Frank, but it's only 18%. Now, one of the things I didn't cover is like single premium annuities versus immediate and deferred annuities. I mean, we can definitely talk about that. That is one of the things I'd want to know. But what I covered, I mean, I covered a lot of stuff with the annuity, the biggest, most important pieces of annuity. Like if you can understand what I shared, that'd be important. 56% on H. So you might be taking a different exam. New Hampshire. Now you're sending me on a goose hunt. Can you send me your New Hampshire insurance exam? There is a separate exam called an annuities exam, but I think I've only seen it in Michigan. 1626. I'm not seeing that. One 626. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Do you see that? Right there. 1261. So I don't know what you're looking at, Frank, but this is the 1261 exam. And it's only 18%. Better Court is New Hampshire commissioner. Okay. All right. Yeah, there is a lot more to learn about annuities, but that's a big chunk of it. Okay. So that's a big piece of it, is understanding the pay in, the pay out. The accumulation period is the time I'm paying in. Annuitization is the time that I'm paying out. Now I can talk about immediate versus deferred annuities. So there are some annuities that only look look like this. And these ones are known as, like, this one is like where I won the lottery and I'm starting with $1 million. Like I don't have to put money in. I don't have years of putting money in, right? Because usually with an annuity, I need 30 years to put money in. But let's say I start with $1 million, I won the lottery. I've got $10 million. I put it all into the annuity to make sure that I don't spend it all. Because again, remember, once you go to this side of the graph, you've locked in your money. So this would be like a single premium annuity where I take all the 10 million I got from the lottery and I go, boom, here it all is. So there's no pay-in period. There's just one single premium. So an annuity where you're taking a big chunk of money, and it doesn't have to be 10 million. It could be like 10,000, whatever you're setting up your annuity as. But a single premium annuity is where you already have all the money. And lottery winnings tend to be the most common example of that. So if I have all the money up front, I just plug it into the annuity. Okay. Now, that would be a single premium annuity versus paying in a bunch of, like this example up here was not, this was like a flexible premium, paying in slowly over time. A single annuity is where I win the lottery, make one big payment, plug the money in. Okay. Now there's also a thing called an immediate annuity. Oh my gosh. Versus deferred. And you got to ignore my spelling. My spelling sucks. Okay. I never signed up to be an English teacher. Okay. An immediate annuity is kind of like this situation where I put the money in. So let's say I won a $10 million lottery. I put all of it in. Boom. I filled it all up with my $10 million. And as soon as I put all the money in, I immediately want to take money out. I immediately want my income check. Okay. So this would be example. If I won $10 million or I got a big inheritance. Thank you, Neil. Neil says it could be that you got a big inheritance. That's correct. Okay. So you'd have a bunch of money. You immediately put it in the annuity to protect it so that you don't spend it all. You don't blow it all. Because remember, most people who win the lottery will lose all of that money. They don't have the right money mindset to be able to hold on to the money, and they just lose it all. So one way to protect it is put it into an annuity. So you get a big lottery check, you get a big inheritance check, you put it in the annuity, and then it's going to send you the money every month. So at least you've locked it in and you will get money for the rest of your life. Okay. So an immediate annuity is when you put the money in and then immediately get it out. And technically it's within 1 year. So if I put it in and take it out in a year or less, that is known as an immediate annuity. So from the time I make my very first premium payment, and usually it's going to be a single premium annuity. So if I get all 10 million and then put it into the annuity, as long as it's within less than 1 year that I take the money out, that's known as an immediate annuity. So that means a deferred annuity is just any annuity where there's time between the first payment in and the first payment out, at least over a year. So deferred is just longer than a year. From the time I put in my first amount of money to the time I take out my first amount of money, so pay in to pay out, if that's longer than a year, it's deferred. If it's a year or shorter, it's immediate. So that's the difference between immediate annuity and a deferred annuity. So now we've talked about another bit. Let me look at this list of annuity things from your New Hampshire exam, which is not 27% or 56%, but 18%. Let me see. There are some tax questions in a different chapter about annuities, and that is 13%, but that includes all taxes, not just annuity taxes. And taxes is meh. You can survive the whole exam without understanding taxes. See, deferred. Where's your surrender? I talked about the surrender charge. So when you put money into the annuity, it's like when you start the annuity and you decide to cancel it early on. And when I say early on, anytime between the first year to the 10th year, anytime between the first 10 years you want to cancel it, they take some of the money. They keep a surrender fee. After the 10 years, it's like whatever. If you want to take it out, you can take it out. All right. Yeah, that covers a lot on the annuity. Some people may set up an annuity for like education funds. So like, let's say I have a baby and then the baby is born, and then every month I put money into the annuity so that when they get to college age and I want them to use the annuity to pay college, it could be an education annuity. That is usually, so retirement and education are two of the biggest reasons that people get annuities. Okay. So let me go through here, see if I got any questions about annuities. I didn't pay attention to the chat 100%. Like annuity pays you a dividend. I wouldn't say annuities pay a dividend. No, I wouldn't talk about that. Taxed in terms of an annuity, I would only think about the payout check as being taxed. So when you're receiving your monthly check, you just think about how interest is taxed. There is no beneficiary on this side. Once you annuitize, there is no beneficiary over here unless you have period certain or amount certain. On this side of the chart, you can have a beneficiary. So like if I'm the one putting money in, but then I die, if I die on this side of the graph, they will pay out the money that I've saved to a beneficiary. But once I annuitize, once I go from pay in to pay out, unless I have period certain or amount certain, there's no beneficiary here. What does not cover for alcoholism, alcohol, and insurance? The biggest thing, so that's a question the King asked, not necessarily related to annuities, but with health, there are some insurance policies that come with a clause that say they do not cover intoxicants or narcotics. So like if you break your leg while you're drunk and stumbling around, they won't cover it, but only if you have that clause in your policy. All right, I'm just scrolling here for annuity questions. Okay. Can you explain guaranteed insurability? How do I keep getting advertised? Because it's my channel is monetized. There's ads. Usually it gives me a warning that ads are coming and I turn them off, but it's like an automatic setting. I don't know if I can turn it off right now. Oh, maybe I can. Ooh, yep. Okay. All right. I'll turn it off. Okay, I can turn it off. All right, ads should not be popping up. And if you don't want ads, send me a super chat. You could just send me money. This is how I make my money on my channel. Is you guys either you watch ads and I make money, or you send me money, which is great. I love either way. But I turned it off so that you guys don't have to deal with advertisements right now. I'm doing Colorado PC. Are you talking about any of that today? I have not yet talked about PC exam. It would be a good time to switch over to a PC concept. If I got some PC people, give me a 1 if you're life and health. Give me a 2 if you're PC. So in the chat right now, give me a 1 if you're life and health. Give me a 2 if you're PC. And if you see, well, I think we're coming to, well, there's a few classes coming up this week from Peter. And Peter is teaching all the life and health stuff. He will eventually start teaching some PNC stuff. All right, so we got a 1, 2, 3, 4 ones. So I got a lot. Okay, yeah, because I've been talking about annuities, I got a lot of life and health people here right now. Okay, I was just kind of curious to see who I got. Ooh, purpose and plans. I like your name. Okay. All right, let me see if I got any. Okay, I got a lot of life and health. What was 1 life and health? I already forgot. 1 was life and health, right? Okay. I think that was it. Sorry. All right. Let me see if I got it. Can you explain how guaranteed insurability works? Okay, so I'm going to answer Cheesy's question because Cheesy was also the first one to give me a 1. Okay. Whoever tips me the most, I'll teach you your lesson next. Okay. All right. So Cheesy, you asked me, this one doesn't necessarily require writing on the board, but guaranteed insurability. So we have to talk about what is insurability to begin with, right? Insurability is the ability to receive insurance, right? So, insurability is like the insurance company is willing to take my risks, right? Insurance is the transfer of risk. So when we're talking about car insurance, they are taking the risk that I crash my car, get a speeding ticket, destroy my car, whatever. If I'm getting health insurance, they're taking the risk that I get sick. If it's life insurance, they're taking the risk that I die and lose all my income. So insurability is basically saying that while you have risks, you're not like so crazy risky that we're like, no, thank you. If you're so risky, like if you're a person who's like, oh my God, you reek of car accidents, like you have one every other day, you have a lot of accidents, we don't want to deal with you. If you have really bad driving record, you've already had a bunch of accidents, you are so risky, nobody wants to deal with you. Okay. So when we talk about life insurance, because guaranteed insurability really only comes up on the life and health exam anyway. But so guaranteed insurability is basically locking in the fact that they'll give you insurance even if something changes. So guaranteed insurability is a rider that you can buy on your life exam, on your life policy. Sorry. So let's say I buy life insurance. And when you buy life insurance, they're going to ask you all kinds of questions. What is your health like? Are you on any medication? What surgeries have you had? What diagnoses have you had? They make you pee in a cup. They take your blood. Like they ask you all kinds of stuff. I applied for life insurance like 2 months ago, and they're still trying to get all the paperwork from the correct places. I have asked for a lot of money to be able to pay off my house if I were to die, but David could be able to pay off my house if I were to die. But so they're digging deep. They're digging deep into my health history. Okay. So when you first apply for life insurance, they will dig deep. They're going to look at everything related to your health, every issue you've had, pee in a cup, all this stuff. So then let's say they offer me life insurance and they say, okay, we're going to give you life insurance. Now you can buy this little thing that'll basically say, if you need more life insurance later, we'll let you have it without asking you any medical questions. Because anything can change, right? You could be totally healthy, get your life insurance, and then 5 years later be diagnosed with something incurable or terminal. And once you hit that point, if you try to get more insurance, they're going to tell you no, because your medical history has changed enough that they're like, no, you're now terminal. You now have this diagnosis. It could be like you stay utterly healthy, but then you're in like a major car accident. And let's say you become paralyzed. I was the pinnacle of health. I'm in this accident. Now I'm paralyzed. Now I'm always going to have medical stuff. So what the guarantorability rider is basically saying you can buy more insurance later and not have to answer any medical questions. We'll just give it to you. We're just going to assume the health that you had back when you applied for it. So that's what a guaranteed insurability rider is. It basically prevents them from asking you any more medical questions later on. Because like when you first buy insurance, you might not need as much. Like think about when you first, go out on your own as an adult. You want to make sure that if you die, your parents have enough money to bury you. You can pay for your funeral. And then you buy a house. And then you want to make sure that if you die, your spouse can pay off the house. So then you need a little bit more. And then maybe you have children. And now you want to make sure that if you die, you pay off the house and you pay for their educations. So then you need a little bit more. So like over time, you may need more and more life insurance as you go on. Or let's say you start making a lot more money and you buy a lot more things. Maybe like, for instance, the very first house I bought was like $100,000 something, $150,000. Now I've made enough money and I want bigger things. Now the house I bought is 1.2 million. 1.3, 1.7, no, 1.7, 1.3. I forget. It's a lot. So I've got 101 acres now. So if I die, David has to pay all that off, but he ain't no insurance exam king. He ain't out here teaching and helping people pass the exam. So like now I need way more life insurance than I needed before. I don't have a guaranteed insurability rider on my policy. The only life insurance I have right now is enough to pay off my house if it was 150, not a 1.2 million property. So I don't have enough life, to be 100%, I don't have enough life insurance right now. That's why I'm trying to get it. But like that can change for you over time. So my point in all of this is that you may need more and more and more money in your life insurance as things change. I get a bigger house. I get a bigger salary. I have a spouse. You could be like, well, I've got 3 ex-spouses and they're all on alimony. And so if I die, I got to make sure I got a lot of money. You could have a lot of expenses over time as things change. So if I need more and more insurance as I get older, as things change, I'm going to have to answer medical questions unless I got the guaranteed insurability rider. So if I got the guaranteed insurability rider, I can just add more insurance without having to undergo a medical exam. You could be terminally ill and add more insurance because I can't ask you. So let's say you bought life insurance, everything was fine, you're all good and healthy, but then a few years later, you're diagnosed with something, you're terminally ill, and you're like, well, I'm going to add more insurance. You can call and add more insurance. Now, one thing to note about the guaranteed insurability, excuse me, my lunch just came out as a burp. One thing about the guaranteed insurability is it's not like you can just get more whenever you want it. There's usually going to be set ages or like every 3 to 5 years that you can adjust it. There has to be a reason, a major life event, or a certain amount of years that would allow you to increase it. It can't just be like every time I feel like it, I add more insurance. Now you will also have to pay for more insurance. Okay. So you will have to like, if I add $100,000 more, I will have to pay for that. But the amount of money that they're going to charge me for that is based on the health level I was at when I first started. So if I have a guaranteed insurability rider, they just assume the same exact health. Now they will look at my age. So like if I buy insurance when I'm 30, and then when I'm 50, I want to use my guaranteed insurability rider and I want to add more. They will say, well, now you're 50, so their rate will be higher because of your age. But they won't say no to me because of my health. They can't ask me questions about my health. And so as long as I can pay the additional premium for the more insurance, they have to give it to me. Okay. So that's the guaranteed insurability rider. I think you asked me a few more questions about it, or there was something else on there. I don't know where I scrolled. That was a lot of comments back. Okay. Well, at least I answered. Oh, standard rates, attained age. Yeah. So attained age is the age that you get it at. So like if I buy it when I'm 30, my health will be locked in at that age. And then when I'm 50, I want to buy more. That's my, like, whatever age you're getting it at is your attained age. So like my rate will go up to a 50-year-old instead of a 30-year-old. So if I originally bought it when I was 30, and then I buy more when I'm 50, and they can't ask me medical questions, they automatically have to give it to me, that's fine. But my new attained age will be 50. So they're going to rate me as a 50-year-old, not a 30-year-old. Standard rates just mean that you have average health. You're not like super healthy, you're not super sick, you're average standard rate. Okay. All right, let me go through some comments here. Can you briefly, so if anyone is asking me about, I'm in this state and I'm doing this exam, what do I need to study? You need to go to my website. My website will break down what's important for every state. So let me share this with you now. Let me pull up my screen here. I'm getting hot. One second. Let me take off I think I'm decently dressed. Okay. All right. I'm wearing my normal crop top. This is like my uniform. It's my crop top, but I got hot. It's like 10 degrees outside. So David heats it way up in here. Okay. And I'm talking and I'm moving. So, all right. Let me pull this up. Give me just a second. This will help everybody. Because it brings me to tears to answer questions I've already answered. And like what's important for each state. Although every once in a while I get nerdy on certain states because I know them very well. Okay, but let me show you. Okay. Oh, that was interesting. Okay. Almost ready. Almost ready. I just saw this. I have been working in Indiana as an insurance reform. Oh, yay. Awesome. Thank you. Okay. If a policy is freshly sold, they can't increase or decrease before that certain period of time. Example, I sell today and they want to change it tomorrow. Dallas, I don't know if you mean, I don't 100% know what you mean. Can they increase or decrease? I think you mean if I have guaranteed insurability, could I then increase it the very next day? No. Again, there's certain times in which you're allowed to increase it. All right, let me share my screen here real quick. Screen 3. Okay, here we go. Okay, all right. So 2 things. 1, I have a Facebook group called Insurance Exam Queen Study Support. I'm going to share the link for you right now in the group chat. Okay, so I'm going to copy the link. I'm going to put it in the group chat. Okay, now, if you're not already in that group, you can request to join, but you're going to have to answer the questions correctly. You have to put in hashtag state that you're in. So like hashtag Arizona, hashtag life and health. You got to give me your email and then we're going to let you in. Okay. And you have to agree to the group rules. So we don't just let anybody in. You have to answer the questions correctly. Okay. All right. Then when you're in the group, here's one of the most important pieces is the files section. When you're on your phone, I don't know if you guys can still see can you guys still see my camera? I can see it. But you guys can see me on camera, right? You can see this? You can see me? Yes? No? Is the chat delayed? Okay. Well, anyway, the files section is where you want to go. And I have every state exam content outline right here. Now you can click file name twice and it'll put it in ABC order for you, makes it a lot easier to find the state outlines. Okay. So Alabama, Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, 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 Arkansas, Arkansas. You can find your state exam content outline here. And it will be like earlier I showed the New Hampshire outline. It'll have that same. Additionally, if you're not in the Facebook group, you don't use Facebook. By the way, all of these are available on your testing website. Whether you're with Premierson, Prometric, PSI, they have these content outlines out there. You can publicly get them. They could just sometimes hard to find. So, but I've put them all in my Facebook group, but it's not, you can find them on the internet yourself somewhere. They're all out there. That's where I got them from. Okay. You can find them on the internet. But if you want them all in one spot, you can find them here on my website. And we will update them when they come out, but the exams don't update very often. So you'll notice a lot of these came from 2024, sometimes 2023. They don't update very often, okay? The other thing you can do is if you go to my website, insuranceexamqueen.com, and I'm going to put that in the chat box as well. If you go to insuranceexamqueen.com, if you're taking the property and casualty or personal lines exam, you're going to click on PC course and you're going to hit recommendations. And then I explain, yes, this works in every single state. Some of you have to take a state approved course. And if you do have to take a state approved course, use Excel using my link so that you get $9 off and you will get my gold for free within 48 hours. And then you keep scrolling and then you'll find your state. And then I break down for you the most important things to know. So if you go to the Facebook group and you get this document, it'll look more like percentages, exact percentages of chapters. If you go to my website, I break it down into paragraphs and kind of explain a little bit about what's inside those sections. So that's how you know what's most important. Maybe I need to change that. If the website said what's important for my exam, would you click that? let me tell the folks to change that. Let me tell the website people. It's only one person, but she reminds me of people. Okay. Not an emergency. Listen later. On the website, underneath the tabs where I say PC recommendations by Melissa, can we retitle that to most important for my state? We need to reword that so people know, like, this is what's going to tell them what's important for their state. Let's dwell on that and let's rechange the wording. Okay, perfect. Okay. Just wanted to pop in here. Yes, Ricky, perfect. Sending you all the love and vibes. All the love and vibes to anyone who's going to be passing soon. Okay, so yes, so you can, and same for life and health. If I go to life and health, I click on recommendations and I scroll down and I can click my state and I can read what's important for my state. And then I tell you what you should get. My gold class series is by far what I recommend to everybody. It teaches you all the most common, most tested topics in your state with the most in-depth lessons. So, there's sometimes where I'm like, oh, an annuity is like saving your money. So you put money in now and then you take it out later. That's like YouTube. If you need the full-blown lesson and the full-blown understanding, that's the gold class series package. Now and it's $97 in any state, $97. In fact, it's not state specific. We don't yet cover state laws. There's also gold plus quizzes and exams. That's $137. That one just gives you extra questions. Most of you already have plenty of test questions. If you've got a course like Excel, Kaplan, 80 Banker, Exam FX, you already have questions. You don't necessarily need any more. But if you want ones from me, then you can get the quiz and exam bundle. But I really, really encourage every person to get the $97 gold. Like that's the best thing for every person. Now you can always upgrade later. If you get gold and you're like, I really want quizzes and exams, there's going to be a coupon inside of gold that'll allow you to upgrade to the quizzes and exams if you want it. I also have silver, which is a little where gold is like everything really in depth. Silver is like everything not as in depth, and then bronze is like everything pretty quick, 15 hours, right? So it's like 15 hours, 19 hours, 30 some hours. Bronze is 27, silver is 57, gold is 97. And let's say you get bronze, but you want gold, there'll be a coupon inside of bronze that will allow you to upgrade to gold for just the difference, okay? Giovanni, thank you. Giovanni says, hello, guys. I really recommend Melissa's course. She explains everything very well, and I passed my personal exam lines on Friday. Congratulations. Thank you for the shout out. I have over 2,500 five-star reviews saying get gold as well. So thank you so much. What if your state doesn't have a pre-license requirement? What state are you in, Neil? Some states, because of, so every state exam, let me stop sharing my screen here for a minute. So my camera, it feels glitchy to me. Oh, and it got fuzzy. Readjust. Come on. Do I need to change my whiteboard? There we go. Okay. All right. I had to play with the lights. Okay. Some states require a state approved course like ExamFX, like Excel. And so you have to buy a course like that. You buy my videos to help understand that course. And you buy my videos to help you pass the exam. Those courses are really hard. The way that they write the material, the way that they ask the questions, you run around in circles, your eyes melt out of your head, you want to pull your hair out because they're hard to read, hard to understand, they don't make any sense, you're banging your head against the wall. You buy my videos to make going through that course way easier, okay? And then you buy my videos because I will tell you, this is going to show up, make sure you know this, you need to understand this, okay? Now, some states require that you buy the state approved course. You have to buy Excel. You have to buy one of them. Okay. Some states don't have any requirements. You can just walk in and take the test. In most of the states, in all of the states, I say buy my videos no matter what, right? You got to learn the material. It's very rare that a person's like, I've never learned anything about insurance. I'm going to pass this exam. You have to learn something. So always get my videos for sure. But there are some states where they may not require a state approved course, like it's not a requirement, but they have a big section on state law. So every test, no matter what state you're in, has a section that's about specifically those state laws. How long is your license good for? Could range between 2 years to 6 years. How many hours of continuing education you need, could range from 12 hours to 36 hours. Every state has state laws because insurance is a state-run thing. Test question. Insurance is a state-run program. It's not a federal government program. It is state-run. So that means every single state has their own insurance laws. Every exam asks you about their insurance laws. So a test you take in Colorado for the state law section is going to look different than a test you take in Arizona, okay? As of right now, we're working on it. As of right now, I don't cover state laws. I'll tell you what's important. Make sure you know how long your license is good for. Make sure you know how long continuing education is. Make sure you know if your director or commissioner is elected or appointed. Make sure you know there's certain things that I will highlight for you as important, but you're going to need to find that information somewhere else. And the somewhere else that you find it is your state approved course like Excel, like ExamFX. Right now, they're the place that has all the state laws. So even if you're in a state that doesn't require a course like Excel or ExamFX, depending on how heavy the state law section is. Like West Virginia is like 30% state law. You can't avoid learning state law. Arizona, it's only 5%. Do you need to know state law in Arizona to pass? Nope. Could you get away with just using my gold? Yes. But when you're in a state where state law is 30+% of your exam, my course won't be adequate for the state law section. You're going to have to get the state law somewhere. Now, again, we are in the process of getting state law out there, but we're looking at a month as like the minimum amount of time for us to be ready to publicly sell state law documents. Okay. So in the meantime, you're still probably going to have to get a course like Excel, like ExamFX, like Kaplan, whatever. Now, I currently recommend Excel because I like their test questions. I love none of them. Like the courses, they all generally suck. The reading all generally sucks. The videos all generally suck. Okay. That's why my course is so important. But in terms of the practice questions and the exam questions, Excel's I like a lot better. They feel a lot more like the actual state exam than the other companies that I'm familiar with. So I have actually partnered with Excel. You have to click my link. It used to be a code. They changed it. Now you have to click the link. But if you go to my website and you click the link for Excel, you'll get $9 off of the $199 package, and then you'll get $97 gold for free. You have to use my link, though. You can't just buy Excel and then ask me for gold. Did you buy it from my link? You have to use my link, and then you get gold for free. Okay? All right. Washington is 40. Yeah. So, Neil, you're going to need a state-approved course. Washington is one of the most heavily state-lawed exams out there. It's probably the biggest. I just started my agent purchase ExamFX about the gold. Yes. Barely need to read. Yes, you barely need to read. If you're using my videos, you really don't have to read your course. I took the test and passed first time on both because the way she breaks it down, yes, helps you remember, yes. And when she says write as she writes so it sticks in your brain, yes, exactly. Illinois requires a state-approved course, and they require you take a live class. You have to sit, test question in Illinois, you have to sit for 7.5 hours for every line of authority. So you have to take a live class for 7.5 hours in Illinois. Okay. All right. Been here for about over an hour now. I hear my baby is awake. I've taught some really cool stuff. I feel so. Okay. Cool. What about Virginia? I don't know. Click on the files document in Facebook. So I don't have Virginia off my mind. Okay. Cheesy says you don't need it for Virginia, but do you know how much state law is for Virginia? Because again, that's what really matters the most is if the state law section is really big, you're going to need a course that'll help you teach. You can look up every state law. It's possible. Because the state exam outline will tell you what every law is. Like it'll say, we're going to ask you about this, and here's the law reference number. I have a video on the YouTube channel that shows you how to find it. What are policy provisions for casualty? Policy provisions for casualty are going to be declaration page, insuring agreement, endorsements. It's one of a contract law. It's one of the higher tested sections, policy provisions. But policy provisions are all like the rules about the policy. What is the deck page? What is the endorsement page? Who is the insured? What are the definitions mean? What is additional insured? Stuff like that. Simo, for all those watching this live, I watched Melissa's class before I did my life, property, and casualty 2 months ago in Massachusetts. I passed all the first time. Oh my God, I've made over $400,000 in sales in 3 months alone. Hello, that is amazing. That is super cool. Yes, I don't just want to help you pass. I want to help you make money. So that is amazing. Oh my gosh, congratulations. Cheers for you, Sumo. I say names weird. That is amazing. That is epic. If you want to interview with me on the YouTube channel so we can tell people what's possible, that would be epic and amazing. Let me know. Email support@insuranceexamqueen.com and say, Melissa said to email to interview for the YouTube channel. Anyone who's had really great success and they want to share, Let me know. I love sharing amazing stories like that. By the way, if you notice on the YouTube channel, I made a documentary on making my first million as the insurance exam queen. We've now made 2 million plus in dollars. But I made a documentary on making my first million. I'm super excited about it. It's really awesome. Episode 1 has been released. It's going to be 3 total. And I'm really proud of that. So if you guys want to start watching that, learn more about me and my personal story, it's a really, really great series that's going to be super, super cool. We're going to release each episode roughly about every 2 weeks. So episode 1 has been released 2 weeks from now. Episode 2, 2 more weeks, episode 3, and then we'll be done. And then I'll start working on the next documentary. Actually, I've already started recording it, but yes, congratulations. Okay. All right. So I'm going to send you guys off with so much love and vibes to pass the exam. Check out the Facebook study group. Check out the website. Get $97 gold. It's amazing. It's the best thing to help you pass. People ask me all the time, do you tutor? No, watch gold. Now, I've already taught you everything I would need to teach you in a tutoring session in the Gold Class Series videos. So watch those. Those are what's going to help you pass the most. Additionally, if you love me and you want to hear from me more than just passing the exam, I have a whole other YouTube channel called @MelissaMayDillon, and I can share the link with you. But on that YouTube channel, I talk about life. I talk about making money. I talk about building a business. I talk about all kinds of things. I talk about God. I talk about being the conscious creator of your reality. I talk about all kinds of stuff. So if you want to stay connected with me after passing the exam, check out my YouTube channel @MelissaMayDillon. And I talk about all kinds of stuff on that channel. I even have a meditation that people listen to that brings in magic money from the most craziest of places. I've had people listen to that meditation and get money out of nowhere. I'll share that link with you too directly because it's such a good one. If you're like, I need that $97 gold and I don't have the money, listen to that meditation. The money will come from the most randomest of places. And I think we do have gift card options too. Like if you're able, I think we have that on the website. If, you don't have it, but you have like, if you're like, Mom, I want to become an insurance agent and you can help me pass. Oh, that's not going to work. There are gift card options where people can get you a gift card so that you can get set up with gold. I think gift card. Yeah. Gift gold. Yeah. Okay. I'll drop that link as well. Okay. Perfect. I got my license 2 weeks ago with your videos. Woo! Yes. Fantastic. Okay. Awesome. And if 2 people right now can subscribe to that channel, I want to take a picture of having 777 subscribers. Ah, I hit it. Nobody else subscribed. Oh, yes. Okay. I'm a angel numbers obsessed person. And I really wanted that. 777. Woo! Okay. Love it. Love it. At 3:22, I said it. I love angel numbers. All right. I love you guys so much. Again, check out my other channel. Watch that Magic Money Meditation. Get the $97 gold. Email us if you have some questions. support@insuranceexamqueen.com. Get into the Facebook study group for additional support. And sending you all the loves, all the vibes to pass the exam. You guys have an amazing day. And Peter will be teaching a couple of classes this week. So live here on the YouTube channel. So you can check that out. Love you all. Have an amazing day. Bye.